All right, we are live with another edition of IUPUI Counter-Strike. This time, Spring Collegiate FACEIT 2023, IUPUI versus Carleton University. Both teams are sitting on a 4-2 record, and will be playing for a chance to get into the 5-2 pool. This is the second to last game of the season, so pretty high stakes with regards to how the seeding will turn out to end the season as well. For now, we won't have any co-casters. We'll see if we can bring anyone along later. The typical co-caster in JackXDD has internet issues, so just going to be me for now. Carleton is, I think, historically a pretty good CS school. I think they've had good teams, at least for the last 2 or 3 years. One of the few Canadian colleges that compete in the North American leagues. The other frequent team I see in these leagues is Manitoba, but I don't know how much Manitoba plays anymore. Back when I played, Manitoba was pretty common. And I don't have a whole lot of experience against the West Coast teams because a lot of the divisions I would play in would be Midwestern-centric. But regardless, CU 4-2 going into this game. Not sure, can look up real fast in terms of their past few games in the FACEIT Collegiate, as IUPUI seems to be stalling the veto out a bit. We'll know the maps. So in the meantime, we'll look through this. Let me know if the audio is screwed up in any way in the chat. But look through these past weeks. So week 1, Carleton played against whatever OTSU is. Got a pretty clean 2-0, looks like. Week 2, Carleton played against University of Virginia. Took a 2-0 loss. I think Virginia is also in the 4-2 pool right now, if memory serves correct. Carleton likely then won this week versus, Iowa State. Next week, to going against Triton CS, and I think we're going to have 2 more matches to comb through. Took a loss versus Texas. So a common pattern here is that they're beating teams that they should be, and they're losing against teams that are pretty decent. Winning against CSU here. So no big wins, but also no bad losses. I think you can kind of say the same against IUPUI, or for IUPUI, depending on whether you think Michigan was a good win. But IUPUI lost against Davenport, who recently lost the rest of the season, and lost against ASU, who is also a pretty decent level 10 stack, has particularly one very good player on it in based. But moving on to the 4-2 match here, looks like Vertigo and Inferno are going to be banned out. Vertigo banned by CU and Inferno banned by IUPUI. CU currently choosing their map. IUPUI will follow. We've seen a lot of Ancient, Mirage, and Overpass from IUPUI this season. They threw in a nuke pick, or I guess it was more of a float nuke in one of their matches this season, which went very well for them. And week 1, they also were able to take their opponent's map pick of Anubis. So as far as the map pool goes, all 5 of the remaining maps could be on the table for an IUPUI float for map 3. I think as far as picks go, IUPUI is probably looking into a Mirage or an Ancient pick here. If they expect Mirage to be a ban for CU in the second step, they'll definitely go for Mirage pick. But if they think Mirage is a very easily floatable map for map 3, they'll probably let it go. CU is taking their time here, actually, with their map pick. It looks like they're doing a bit of scouting, maybe. They were very quick to ban servers and ban their first map, so it's definitely a topic of deliberation with the team right now, because they did not need to deliberate on the other 2, so they have no need to stall. And we won't know what they've picked until bans for the second phase come in and maps are left over, but definitely interesting to see them deliberating so much. I think most teams would have done their scouting beforehand and would have these selections kind of ironed out by the time this game started. I mean, at this point, I'm almost just bored to the point of actually just pulling up their team history and seeing what they're likely to pick. Still no pick from CU. Ancient, Nuke, Inferno. So no Inferno here. Mirage Overpass. We aren't seeing any Anubis. So it looks like Anubis is definitely going to be the ban for the second phase. I wonder if IUPUI sees that there's no Anubis in this match history and actually goes for the Anubis pick. Because, I mean, CU is basically daring IUPUI to punish pick them on Anubis here, if they wanted to do that. I don't know if IUPUI really is comfortable enough on Anubis to be picking into it, but definitely something to look out for, I guess. CU has made their pick, and now it's IUPUI's turn to make theirs. If I had to really put down a prediction, I'd say probably either Nuke or Overpass for CU's pick, but really could be any of those maps, especially if they didn't do scouting. IUPUI going to pick there, so we'll see CU's ban here. I would expect an Anubis ban fully here. If there's no Anubis ban, IUPUI must have picked it, or CU has done practice on the map since their last game. But bit of a narrative for IUPUI going into this match is this is I think the second week in a row that IUPUI is actually fielding their full 5-stack, which is always a good sign. Anubis does get banned. So IUPUI did not go for the punish pick of Anubis. I'm expecting then that they picked Ancient. And IUPUI, if I had to place a bet, I'd say are going to ban whatever's left of Overpass and Nuke here, whatever didn't get picked in the first phase. Regardless, I think this should be a good match. Both teams are have had very similar seasons up until this point. Although I must say that I don't think IUPUI would have lost to ASU if Big Daddy 8 was playing. I think you can definitely say that. All right, so Overpass, Ancient, and Nuke. Overpass definitely being the pick of CU. Ancient, very common pick for IUPUI thus far this season, and it's been pretty consistently strong for them. Particularly in their last game versus Michigan, they actually lost the first map of Mirage and ended up winning out the series from that point onward on Ancient, and I think Nuke was map 3. So, with Overpass being the first map, fun facts: Gumboot, Big Daddy A, and Extravagant just came off of a triple overtime Overpass pug, so they'll be very warmed up for this map. Let me get this IP in and transfer over to CS:GO. Overpass, I think, has been pretty decent for IUPUI thus far in the collegiate season. The one exception being the matchup versus Davenport, which most teams, I'd say 99% of teams in the FACEIT collegiate sphere are not going to be Davenport, let alone have a chance. So, not really going to fault IUPUI too much for that. And while we're just waiting for the game to start, let me restart Counter-Strike because OBS is not picking it up correctly. But just a little bit of a discussion in the meantime. Davenport, as a university, basically imploded. Their CS program basically imploded. I think there's been 4 announcements already of leaving the program. So, definitely a big story, and one that particularly affects IUPUI's season because Davenport beat IUPUI before they ended up forfeiting their season, and in the forfeits are basically the implication that the blue coal system as it stands is based entirely around strength of schedule. So Davenport's win-loss record affects IUPUI's seeding like And you can say that about every game that IUPUI has played this season. Every team IUPUI has beat, every team IUPUI has lost against, in some way affects their Bukul score. And then that therefore affects the seeding to end the season. Because there's only 8 games throughout the season, there's going to be a lot of situations where teams have the same record, whether it be 8-0, 7-1, 6-2, 5-3. To break the ties, FACEIT uses the Bukul system, as far as I know. I can check the playoff rulebook in between games, but that's how it's sorted. It's sorted by wins, and then the Bukul system is how it's sorted by on their site. So the fact that Davenport not only beat IUPUI, but also then it's basically like tanking the rest of their season away just because they can't play, very negatively affects IUPUI's Bukuls, because Davenport as a university would have at worst finished the season 7-1, maybe 6-2 if they couldn't field a good 5. But what should have been a very good Bukul score for IUPUI is actually a very mid, at best 5-3 Bukul score. And I will also say for our WMU chatter that Davenport's disqualification very positively affects your chances of making the playoffs, because it's one less team on a 5-3 record that can actually make the playoffs. So one more team, the seed 33 on the page, will actually make the playoffs because of Davenport. So moving on to Overpass, that was one of the most beautiful knife rounds I've ever seen. I feel like I've watched way too many knife rounds of IUPUI this season that the other team is actually knifing for some reason, despite the fact that it doesn't matter. But gonna start here. IUPUI gonna elect to choose the CT side, not particularly surprising. And CU onto the T side. Starting out, one set of utility bot for the T side that's on MDC. Smoke, flash, flash. Looks like this is going to be a fast con pop. And IUPUI, they have the counter setup. This is a very common kind of counter A strategy setup. That flashbang will be good to blind Gumboot. Big Daddy A from Dividers chipping in as well. And Straylock from Bathrooms. He's having a bit of a struggle, but he will collect one. And now MDC, he's thrown the utility, but he's got no teammates left. And that's going to be a very clean round for IUPUI. Only one player goes down, and Big Daddy A already off to a great start. 3 kills. That's a good sign for the Jaguars. And that's exactly why you have that setup in the playbook, is to counter any of those fast A plays. And that flashbang is really only good to blind an unsuspecting Divider player. And I would assume that Big Daddy A was doing a lot of jiggle peeking there. Overpass, just generally on the CT side, is a very I don't want to say op dependent, but having a decent op and having an op up will increase your win rate on the CT side a lot more than I think any other map in the entire map pool currently. I think the only one that would have rivaled it would be Train before the exclusion, but even then, I think Overpass might be more positively affected by op, and winning the pistol round is a great way to get your economy kickstarted off to a good pace. Gumboot buying up the scout. A little bit of op practice for later, I suppose. I think I was briefly on the Carleton University esports Twitter page as the IUPUI tweet linked it, and I think MDC might be streaming on Twitch if you want to do a watch along from both sides. I guess I don't know which stream will be more delayed. This one has GoTV delay. He'll have his own preset delay. Both of them should be completely 2 or 3 rounds out of the actual live action, but something to think about. I'm alt tabbed, so the screen's going to be frozen right now as we wait for the timeout to end. Let's see here. Every time I go on Twitch, I just see Counter-Strike 2 streamers, and I wish I could play. Yeah, Carleton is streaming. Oh wait, it actually might straight up be like a fully casted broadcast. Yo, hold on. They have a... They have us listed as just Purdue. I think if they have a caster, it's AFK, or is Grey Lime just one of their players and I haven't called his name yet? No, Grey Lime's one of their players, so they're streaming a POV. All right, we're live. T side, very minimal buy up into this Grey Lime. Going to be on the Deagle, no armor. The most danger that any IUPUI player will face on this round will be this Deagle. And thus, I will stay on this POV until the round ends, probably. Very standard CT setup here for IUPUI. We're going to feel a little bit of pressure on his scout divider, spawning out trio of players towards A. There goes that Deagle on Grey Lime. To the MP9 of Straylock. Going to try to collect is Warsnaw. If he can stick his head out wide enough. That nade might have actually moved that Deagle even farther away than it was beforehand, making it difficult for CU to get anything done in this round. Gumboot actually did just get dinked up at long range, down to 6 HP. Straylock, now it's his turn to get dinked up at long range and gets backstabbed by Ostrich. Deagle should be able to be collected unless that nade really did grief it. I guess it did, because none of the CU players are really even looking for it. Andy in his trademark position into the dice corner. Ostrich with the MP9 looking to do a little bit of damage. Gumboot gets rolled over. Big Daddy A is trying to make a lurk player on dice, and it's worked. But hitting the shots is another story, and he is whiffing hard. There were 4 Glocks and 1 Deagle to start this round for the CT side, and now there is a bomb planted with both T-side gamers for CU having weapons. Very dangerous situation for IUPUI to stumble into, and EXT is not looking bank where both T's currently reside. Gonna swing into one. He's able to get one and call out the information of the other. Now CMX, with no kit or utility, has to get this done for his team. MDC gonna walk up, and CMX will find him. So IUPUI, despite losing way more in monetary value than they really would prefer against ecoing players, they will collect the round win. But CU Esports with the bomb down. I mean, MDC is on 6,400. Compare that to the average CT economy, and it's a stark difference. So, moving forward, you've got to favor CU in these next few rounds. MDC buying up an AWP for his teammate Ostrich. IUPUI nowhere near having the luxury of having an AWP. Pretty standard setup again for the IUPUI side. Straylock gonna disperse the smoke into connector and help fight water. Big IDA taken out very quickly. 1 for 1. We'll see if the stretched out defense negatively affects IUPUI in any way. Gumboot really the only contingency towards A right now for the IUPUI side. Straylock the closest second player in connector. He's definitely feeling the pressure of multiple angles. Knows there's teammates, or knows there's enemies in water, I should say. Doesn't really know about this divider player, but Gumboot will find that out. Off angle for Straylock, and he'll win it. Now all the way into Monster's MDC, and he's going to fall as well. All the way across the board are IUPUI winning these gunfights, and CMX will trade out Extravant. That's going to be a 3-0 start for IUPUI. Despite the monetary disadvantage there, IUPUI come out pretty clean there. Almost entirely on off angles. I mean, Gumboot found an off angle kill, then Straylock found an off angle kill, and I think EXT and Monster also was an off angle kill. So CU are just maybe a couple flashbangs away there from winning the round there, and instead it's almost a clean sweep. 3 alive for IUPUI. The off wasn't stolen, so that's yeah, that's not the lineup. I was about to say that does not look like the lineup. 5 T's starting A. That's a fantastic nade from Gumboot. Gets Grey Lime down to 28 HP, and without armor, that's going to just be 1 AK-47 bullets. Now, a little bit dangerous are these T-side players quickly scaling up long, and I think IUPUI are fully aware of that possibility as Gumboot has fallen back to the A-bomb site. Watching long. Big Daddy A bit bored, is going to try to take fights with MP9 on a flank. CMX also putting pressure from connector. Taking fights. Straylock finds that party player. Gumboot going to trade that back, and now it's all onto I See You Dare. Alakazam profile picture is not good enough. Gonna have to work on that. 4-0 start for IUPUI. Money still very good for CU. But these last 2 rounds of 3 Alive have made up for the early sins of that eco round. Being so close. Economy on the CT side is in a decent place. Should be able to buy should they lose. 5 AKs. No op for the T side this round. They definitely could have opted into one, but decide not to. A 5-player B start. This is going to be a rush for the T side. It looks like it will be. Are the IUPUI side prepared? No. EXT gets flashed off and is not able. I don't even think they're aware on how. There's 4 out monster. EXT is able to collect 1. Rotation is flying in. Big Daddy A finds 1 as well. That's a great smoke to deny the scaling from Big Daddy A. Ostrich jumping up will find the kill. And now Straylock getting caught off guard a bit. CMX from Pit finds 1 and finds a 2nd through the smoke. Now it's all the way down to MDC. He's already got 1 kill in the round. Needs to make it 3 to clutch for his team. Straylock jumping up on the railing. He's going to get caught out, and now it's on to CMX. He already found 2. Behind the smoke. MDC actually going to lurk away. Maybe just going for the full loop to try to fake out CMX as to his position. This really has just reset the situation. CMX is not in the best position to handle a monster peak, but moving back into graffiti should make this better. If MDC doesn't see CMX, but they will fight CMX at the long range, the A1S is not good enough. MDC's going to win with 21 HP, and I've got to say, IUPUI's anti-monster rush protocols were not good there. EXT seemed to be the person who was supposed to be responsible for that. The smoke comes in monster. The typical routing that kind of Gambit innovated in their online run was a quick nade into this tunnel that lands like around here or deeper, and you just come through while anti-flash and start spraying this smoke. And if EXT had done that and played anti-flash and gotten close to this pillar, this was going to be a very quick highlight reel for him, and instead it's a low light reel, and they take the bomb site. Only 1 kill on those entries. CMX trying to save the day for the Jaguars, but CU will come up, and the save coming in for IUPUI. Looks like they're going to try to make a play through this. Monster Smoke Flash comes in. CT is running through now. It's a bit late. MDC not realizing the danger he's in. Through the fence, though, will save his life. Sprays through the smoke as well. It's pure chaos in this monster area. Flash comes in, and MDC will get out with the bomb. There are 4 players in water right now for the T side. Warsnall, half HP, will collect that fight. Goes down on the tray. CMX with the 5-7 spamming it away. We'll find 1 and 2nd. What an insane shot from CMX. Gumboot with a flick deagle headshot, but MDC sprays both. On 17 HP, this is the player that Big Daddy A caught out with the bomb in Monster early. Now EXT on a 5-7 and 75 HP is going to hear smokes on A. This is going to be such a long rotation of the bomb is planted A. With no kid, he's got to just run this. MDC with every advantage in the world except for the HP advantage. 1 5-7 bullet should do it, but even just 1 AK bullet will aim punch. He's just now looking back, and EXT is nowhere near the crosshair placement. MDC wins another clutch for his squad. He is absolutely carrying them from the clutch department right now. 10 kills for 4 deaths, and IUPUI, they are losing some very frustrating rounds. 4-2. CU has completely reset the starting momentum IUPUI had. IUPUI may be opting into a double long setup to start here. Indeed, that will be the case. Full map default from Carleton. They haven't really shown a full map default these last 2 rounds. It's kind of been pack Counter-Strike, and it's worked for them. Now going back to the default. Gonna take water with this flashbang. No contest for IUPUI, so actually this late boost might actually be perfect. Big Daddy A, yep, that's gonna be a free kill on ICU Dare. Good call from CMX, likely to get that boost in. And now the A default is really starting to become important. There is an opportunity for the T side to punish these long players, but Gumboot, first point of contact, misses the op shot. Ostrich actually too afraid to take that fight any further. He's gonna fall out. Now Straylock dispersing a smoke to try to give his teammate some space. And space has been given. The T-side completely abandoning this A default, opting into for a late B execute. EXT is in a fantastic spot if he doesn't get flashed, and right now, there's only 1 flashbang on the board for CU. That's on Ostrich. If Ostrich isn't flashing monster here, EXT should be doing great. They're actually going to flash. They're not going to have any flashes for this execute, and EXT is on a very good off angle to prevent any kind of monster play. MDC, he is so important here. He's got to find EXT on this kill. He jumps out. EXT, oh, fantastic crosshair placement. Under Grey Lime transfers. He gets another kill. And now Ostrich flying out. EXT triples up in the round. A great showing from EXT. And that was just shows how important a flashbang is in that situation. Ostrich not greeting it, gonna use it to take map control, but in the end, probably gonna regret that. Five to 2, IUPUI. These rounds have been so close. These last 2 rounds have come down to 1 versus 2. These last 2 probably T rounds that the T side has won came down to clutches. That time, IUPUI very cleanly winning. Carleton, they were able to win a B rush on guns. This time it's not going to be nearly as easy. And Big Daddy A, he is not making the same mistake EST did. He is running through, spraying that smoke. Not anti-flash enough, and he's not going to be able to find the rest, but enough damage has been done such that this rush should be able to be stopped. EXT not able to stop the bomb plant. Straylock going to trade. EXT getting flanked. The Glock provides a great distraction for the flank and Great Lime, and Straylock costs most of his HP to find that kill. Now Great Lime on 30 HP and Pit finds the instant headshot onto Gumboot. Now all the pressure onto Straylock, only on 12 HP, wondering how once again IUPUI is losing the pistols. And Great Lime, oh, he actually lit him up through the wall with the MP9. He sprayed all of his bullets, and Great Lime gets a 4K in the round to win it for Carleton. IUPUI is losing just absolutely mind-boggling rounds. I cannot believe the rounds that IUPUI has lost this game. All 3 have come down to 1 versus 1s, and IUPUI have lost all 3 these last few T-side rounds. The only 1v1 that IUPUI has won thus far has been CMX's M4A1S kill onto the bank player on the 2nd round, but even that one should not have been that close. Molly missed from Straylock, I guess. IUPUI has not only missed a playground Molly, but also a stairs Molly, looking very non-prepared for overpass. Missing even the most basic utility. Ostrich, he is not afraid at all. EXT going to try to punish that Molotov throw, but instead gets a headshot himself. Ostrich is traded, though, from Big Daddy A. Meanwhile, the T-side very quickly reacting to the information they've been given. They're running up long. Not afraid at all. And CMX just now making it up, jump up. Does he know how fast this action will come in? Out long very quickly is worse now. Can't find the kill on the CMX. 15 HP remains. Smoke should give him some space. Meanwhile, Big Daddy making a play through the smoke. He goes down. And that nade will collect CMX. And now it's on to Gumboot. Rotating in through the smokes. Gets sprayed down to 55. Straylock on the flank might give IUPUI something to latch onto, but he whiffs the shots. Great Lime not afraid. Actually gives up a kill. Makes this very winnable. The boost on the planer. Very creative from CU, but not able to find the kill. No kit onto Straylock and only 17 HP. This is looking like another CU round win, making it 5-4. Straylock doesn't have anything to say about it. Tags ICU, they're not even lower. That flashbang, very reactable. Time is ticking, and it is not on IUPUI's side. Straylock, wouldn't be surprised to see him abandon this clutch save. Yeah, that's going to be the case. So 5-4. IUPUI not going to have anything to bring in the next round except for this M4A1S. And CU's, their T side, I mean, their round wins have been chaotic, but you've got to give it to them. They are coming through in pretty much every, like, very scrappy situation. It'll be interesting to see what IUPUI chooses to do with this M4A1S. Sherlock going to buy up a smoke. And I mean, it really doesn't feel like it's a fragging issue for IUPUI. Everyone's doing pretty decent. It does seem like in these like very scrappy, calm, heavy moments, it's all kind of just falling apart. That flashbang should give IUPUI's pistol players a little bit of space to move. Rayline fully expecting this play. He's able to collect most of the pistoling players. Now just leaves it on to the one M4A1S. T-side not showing any amount of patience here. Are just going to have to take the fights, and they will win it. 5-5. Score is tied on CU's map pick of overpass. Five M4s purchased up for the IUPUI side. No AWP. Meanwhile, Ostrich going to buy into one. Yeah, that molly is Straylock has missed the molly every round he's thrown it, I think, and CU therefore really doesn't have to respect this at all. minus $600 every round for the Jaguars. Looks like IUPUI is going to cook up a boost here. As I see you there watching for this, I see you there might actually be ready for this. He's looking at a different boost. CMX is going to jump here, head not spotted. This is a super tense situation. Any movement from ICU there up onto this balcony might cost him his life. IUPUI going to bail out of it. I don't think either team really saw what was going on there. They thrown in. Would have punished the boost if it was still there. Won't now. Warsaw trying to make some space short. CMX going to spot that out. Swinging. Not able to collect. Bomb still in T-spawn for the T side, so no commitment necessary. Big Daddy baiting out some sprays, jumping across. CMX just got insta-HS by Warsaw, who comes in and gets a second. EXT has to trade. He does. MDC goes down in a second. EXT can't quite get the third, but a good double from him to give his team a chance on this retake. Grey Lime swinging into two players. Gonna spot out both, get the info. Ostrich for the AWP. Misses the shot and drops the bomb. Now it's ICU there in a 1 versus 2. He finds the first. Now Straylock resetting the situation. Gumboot, very ambitious play to go through the smoke there. I see you there picking up the bomb. Gonna play behind the pillar. Sherlock gonna use this time to go through the smoke. I see you there on the other side of the pillar. Both players, I don't think they have any idea how close they are to each other. I see they're going up into pit. They still haven't seen each other. The sandbags is the wall in between them, but Straylock, he makes good on the timing, and he's going to win the 1 versus 1. The first clutch I think we've seen IUPUI win since round 2, and a super important one at that. Gonna finally place a dent into some of CU's economy, and will steal an AWP for Gumboot on that A-bomb site. So a good starting point to try to close out the half for IUPUI, but looking at his teammates, I mean, even with a round win and on Big Daddy A, EXT probably gonna have to opt into an M4 no util. Indeed, CMX going to instead go for the SMG with utility. So CU, they have a chance once again to knock IUPUI down into a very bad situation economically. And once again, this time we will follow. I mean, that should be the lineup. I think he's actually... Oh, wait, is he just throwing it late? Yeah, that's the problem. He's throwing the Molotov too late. He's supposed to throw it the second he gets to these green bushes, but he's not. Anyway, fast B play, out monster RCU, and they have scaled onto the bomb site. CMX just hoping and praying that the retake goes well enough that they can squeak out this round win. EST was able to find one before he went down, but... Bomb site under control of the T side of CU. Utility being exchanged on both sides. Not a whole lot of success for either teams, really. I see you there getting close. MDC punished for his close movement. Gumboot's AWP boosting up. He's spotted and taken out from Warstall. I see you there did shoot, and that maybe alerts Straylock for a pit player. I see you there gooshing up Straylock through the wall. CMX's MP9 making some space, and Straylock actually wins that fight onto the pit player. CMX good to trade on Monster. A fantastic kill from Straylock and good trades from CMX. A surprising retake for IUPUI. There is an opt-down for somebody to collect. It's in Graffiti. I'm surprised CMX hasn't started running that way. It's his teammate boosted. The miscoms here are surprising. They do get the op, though. So, I mean, that's, I think, the third B rush we've seen from CU, and every time they've rushed, they've ended up on the bomb site to plant in some way or another. So... I wouldn't be surprised to see them go back to that later in this half in these next 3 rounds. So, something to watch out for. Regardless, IUPUI have a good chance here to maybe force CU onto an eco with this round win. And CU very diligent in sticking to this B default. They are too fast into short, and they were not afraid to just take fights short in the previous rounds. They found both CMX and Big Daddy A on an entry earlier from Warsaw. Warsaw instead this round defaulting towards connector, and Grey Lime taking the role of short aggressor. No utility thrown yet. EXT on this monster wall that he's been good for multi-kills early in this half. Smoke being thrown. I think that might be a bit deep. Ostrich might have a gap. Oh yeah, indeed he did. Spots out EXT. That smoke just a bit too deep. That's a lot of pressure being put on. Grey Lime up short, gonna dink up Big Daddy A down to 20 HP. Now rotating back to A. Are most of CU. Gumboot had a chance to get a kill there, but instead missing the shot. Now a lot of pressure being put on Gumboot. He finds Warsaw in the bowling alley of Divider. Rotations in for the IUPUI side. CMX now he's second guessing his decision. Execute flying it. I guess that's an intentional smoke for truck. I really don't see that very often. CMX through the smoke is going to find Grey Lime. And MDC, Gumboot with 1 bullet left is not going to be able to find the kill, and CMX does get traded. Straylock from bank finds ICU there. With only 2 bullets left, he's getting pushed from hostage. He's actually blocking his teammate Big Daddy A, and he's going to go down, but Straylock does collect the kill. I guarantee you Big Daddy A is not happy about how that exchange transpired, but he's going to be happy with a round win, and CU is not going to be happy not getting a bomb plant because their economy is in the absolute bin. They're going to have to save for the last round here. And IUPUI, despite losing 5 rounds out of 6 in the middle of this half, has pulled out at least a half win and has the chance to make this 10-5. Ostrich buying up a scout here, going to have plenty of money to buy next round. Molly being thrown in, and it's missed yet again because Straylock is throwing the wrong lineup. Gumboot did hit his playground Molly this round, though. Quick con scale from Grey Lime. Going to force Straylock out, and they're grouped up divider on the A players. Gumboot trying to provide cover for his blind teammate. Succeeding thus far. Finds a second, but can't find a third. Now Straylock close bathrooms. Puts down the bomb, and now Big Daddy A will collect from the connector flank. So, pretty clean anti-eco for the IUPUI side, and they have a great chance here to go up 10-5 going into the second half of Overpass. A very strong CT side if that were to be the case. Wouldn't be surprised to see CU go back to what was working, fast B hits. But at the same time, is that going to be too predictable? We'll see what the call is for the Ravens. Looks like it's going to be that fast B, and EXT, I don't think he is the best spawn at all, and he's trying to play anti-flash, but they are just going to be out. That Molly is way too late. He gets one, not able to get the second. Now rotators are flying, and Big Daddy A isn't throwing the anti-scale smoke, and he gets punished for trying to just take that fight straight up. CMX smoked off of pretty much everything here. Going to try to make a lurk play. He finds the first, trying to find a second. Barely survives. Both players for the T-side post plant are stuck in Monster. That's a fantastic flash for CMX to stall any kind of scaling. On the pit is CMX. He's going to find one while Straylock sprays MDC through the smoke. So a bit ugly. I think yet again IUPUI would preferably like to work on how they handle these spawn-based exchanges on anti-monster rush, but they were able to win most of the retakes on the bomb site at the end of the day. 10-5 is the score at the half. Straylock, a player, gets 16 kills despite the focus B. Great half from him, and the rest of the team, I mean, no one's really slouching for the IUPUI side. Worsnall, bottom frag in the server, but he did pretty much single-handedly win CU Esports around by entering the B bomb site onto CMX and Big Daddy A. So I think everyone has pulled their weight in some way or another. Now, I will say, MDC, after winning the second 1v1, I'm pretty sure was on 10 kills and only got 1 kill the rest of the half. So that's something to look out for. I think he's really had a rough of it since those 2 clutches. Quick playground scale for the IUPUI side. I would not be surprised to see them try to fake an A play into a B play, and they've pulled off at least 1 rotation thus far. Here comes the second from Worsnall, and it's actually, it looks like 3 rotators now from B are headed towards A. Now MDC has jump spotted and seen nothing water. He's gone too. IUPUI, they are committing to this long play though, so the rotations are well intended from the CT side. Worsnall goes down, gets run over by the spamming blocks. There's a player divider, but he's not going to be able to do much if the T side just continues to scale. CMX finds MDC, EXT on the flank, and to jump up, having some trouble finding this kill. I see you there as well on the long flank, finds one. Straylock trades that back. Ostrich, last player alive for his team on the USP, having trouble handling the jiggle peaks from Big Daddy A, and IUPUI will collect the pistol round. Now winning both pistols on IUPUI rarity, to be honest. Goes up 11-5, and with that, should have the momentum to close out this game. Take us to the second map of Ancient. We'll see. AKs and Gorillas bought up around the board. IUPUI expecting a force buy maybe from the CU side, but no one on the CU side force buys anything more than a P250 or dual Beretta, so we'll have to see. These AKs could be put in perilous positions to be stolen if not careful. CU Esports going for the connector stack. EXT gonna spot this out. He's gonna at least see 3 players. He's actually gonna stay and fight this, and he gets run over. And that's what's dangerous about buying rifles into rounds like this. You risk giving up a gun that's good against armor to your opponents. Not punished for it yet. That nade should do good damage, and indeed it does. Rotates coming in from Monster. Big Daddy watching for it. should be a pretty easy cleanup for IUPUI, and I would not be surprised to see Warstall save this Galil. Monster flank taken out. And the rest should follow. Yeah. Very clean. Mac 10 actually collects its net worth and trades out to the Galil. So Sherlock actually makes $150 profit with that Mac 10. Interesting. I see you, Derek. Gonna actually buy up an AUG. Wouldn't be surprised to see him play the A-bomb site with that, or maybe somewhere on Greats on B. Yeah, gonna opt towards that. No AWP for the CT side, and that is, you know, the price of just saving one instead of force buying then saving, where your opera is double saving effectively. Full map default. I see you there with the AUG actually does collect Gumboot. No lurk smoke at all, just takes that fight and wins it. CMX fighting the connector player, running away, goes down. EXC with the Galil long range wins that fight against the AUG. That is not going to be a fight I see you there is happy with losing. Grey Lime is pushed into water, which allows for both B players to make quick rotates, but is it going to be too late? It looks like it is. That smoke's already landed. MDC misses his lurk smoke. And the full A-bomb site is under control of the IUPUI Jaguars. Very grim scenes here for the CU Ravens on their map pick if they cannot make this retake happen, which seems unlikely at this current moment. Strelok takes out the flank, and it looks like Ostrich and MDC are going to have to save. We'll see how fast IUPUI catches on to this. So this is definitely worth chasing if the IUPUI Jaguars know. 38. Gonna find Ostrich, instantly gonna run away, and they're gonna hear this are the Jaguars. Strelok instantly turning to try to chase. CMX and EXT doing so as well. Pit player and Ostrich catches an unsuspecting CMX, but now has EXT and Strelok to deal with. EXT goes on to bomb actually. Strelok will find Ostrich, but MDC will escape monster. So just an M4 on the side of CU. A lot of work to do for his team. He was able to clutch out some very important rounds in the first half, but he's going to need to do a lot more for his team if they're going to want to make this comeback, particularly while retaining at least a 3-round buffer. Doesn't look like anything too special for an IUPUI to start. Full map default, water taken. Long push coming in for the Ravens. Gumboot ready for this. Some team damage actually from the one A1S on the team. Helps Gumboot find that double kill. Lime close with the 5-7. Cannot find anything. And now I think it's just going to be a deathmatch server. IUPUI just scrambling out onto this B-bomb site. Big Jetty might get caught off guard. Not quite. So IUPUI got to be put onto 14 here. CU really looking for anything they can latch onto to keep themselves in their own map pick. This is looking pretty dominant for the IUPUI side.
Big Daddy, hey!
Sherlock watching for the possible ninja defuse. We'll collect a free kill here. And 14 rounds has been reached. IUPUI doing a bit of a speed run on their opponent's map pick right now. Very dominant T side thus far. Ostrich still not buying up into the AWP. Instead, I see you there. Took the party peek earlier with the AUG. Maybe looking to make the same thing happen with the AWP. Yeah, Ostrich appears to be a B player, and generally B players on Overpass don't op all that often. You have some occasional short peaks that you usually rotate an opera in for, or the pillar that you rotate people in for. The great flash from IUPUI is going to force ICU there off of any aggressive angles. And long being taken very quickly for the IUPUI side as well. MDC finds Big Daddy A through a smoke. And connector, I see you there, finds CMX onto party with the AWP. He's gonna hear, I think he's almost certainly heard, yep, Gumboot scaling up fast. Great flick shot from ICDR onto Gumboot. Now EFC left to pick up the pieces, and I see you there. Overpass, Alper, very clean 3 kills thus far, and Strelok top fragging for his team. But A 1 versus 5 seems more than unrealistic. So CU, I mean, the op diff is really showing here. Maybe reconsidering their decision to just save 1 rather than save 2 to start the game. Sherlock finds 1. Actually does collect 2, making this a winnable 1 versus 3. Expects the flank that's coming in. Worsnall spotted out. Sherlock's still full health here. With 47 seconds, I think the CTs are going to start getting nervous. A lot of respect now being given. The early swings have been changed into off-angle holds. Wow, and the angle is clear. Straylock now into 1 versus 2. Both CT players within reach. Ostrich and Grey Lime. Straylock going to make contact with Grey Lime first. He spotted him out. That flashbang is a little bit dangerous for Straylock. He's going to turn away. Smoke in. Makes this really hard for Straylock now. Collects the bomb, getting sprayed through the smoke. Going to run away. Then flash. Running through the smoke. He finds Grey Lime through the smoke, but cannot find Ostrich. A valiant attempt from Straylock and great monetary damage done, but not enough to win the round. The impact of those kills on a monetary scale cannot really be overstated. Like, the utility on this CT side is going to be so much worse than it was before, and the same could be said for the weaponry. I can't believe that ended up being that close. Yep, 2 FAMASs, very low util on several CU players. I see you there. Really relentless aggression with this AWP. He's going to trade us Ostrich very quickly. Worsnall, bit of contact connect, you're going to bail out. Rest of IUPUI. I mean, ICU there has put the fear of God into these IUPUI defaulters. This AWP has really just been the only thing stopping them thus far. ICU there only on 11 kills before picking up the op. Sorry, actually only on 10 kills. He's picked up 5 kills just in these 2 rounds thus far. Gonna actually go for more here. I think that smoke, I don't think that's where he wanted it to land. I think he wanted it to be like a lurch point to get on the site. Regardless, Big Daddy A, insta HS. And this is what we've expected of the IUPUI Jaguars on this T side thus far. Return to form, the AWP taken out of the rounds. CMX even going for knives at this point. Grey Lime opens up the round under Straylock. Gumboot there to try to trade NBC. Don't get the smoke. Punished for that. And now Grey Lime, AWP 1 versus 3. Tags up Gumboot, but not avoiding the tag himself. Gumboot should be able to clean this up. Grey Lime, yeah, this is going to be a knife. The disrespect is fully in for the Jaguars side, and CU on their own map pick. On the absolute ropes here. No money, really. And an absolute mountain to climb to even just force overtime. Wouldn't be surprised if they were already looking forward to their opponent's map pick of Ancient to see if they can crawl the series back. Real, I'm actually on the XM. Gonna use it to play Shadow, most likely. Gumboot punishes MDC with the AWP. That smoke is like just 20 minutes too late. Gumboot is already through it. Grey Lime taken down, but not before dealing 60 damage with that shotgun. CMX on the fastest flank you've ever seen. Meanwhile, Ostrich out on the B bomb site. This is a chaotic round if I've ever seen one. There is a CT play. I see there is completely lost as to what's going on. Receiving chaotic calls, I'm sure, from his team. All 4 T-side players now just entering water. Molly's being thrown, 4 barrels. Ostrich pushing into Monster. This is going to be a full retake for the CT side. Routing is good for the T side. Site is cleared. EXT going to plant. I see there just now rotating. Ostrich on the quick flank can't find EXT, and that might be fatal for CU's chance in this map. I see you there. This is not an easy angle to win onto CMX, and he's getting pressured already from Gumboot. This is the shot onto Warsound. Only 1 bullet left. Lurk smoke being thrown. Little space given. CMX punishes that immediately. And this should be all but done. I see you there, collected by Straylock. IUPUI, they win the first map 16-6. Their opponent really only had 1 run in this entire map. Otherwise, were shut out completely. On to Ancient we go. And with how IUPUI has performed on Ancient in the past, this is looking good for the 2-0. And in the meantime, I will be pulling up the FACEIT Collegiate Rulebook. See if I have anything to say about tiebreakers. Last season, there was a situation that arose last season towards the end of the season. I think it was a six series season, so there were 6 matches played for every team, and there were several teams basically in the playoffs or on the bubble of playoffs that had the exact same record and the exact same bucals. So there was no tiebreaker in place to actually handle that in the rulebook or stated like on the web page itself. So I think what they ended up doing was settling it by like hand tallied like round wins or map wins. I'm going to check to see if they've actually remedied this problem this season. Huh. This is interesting. I when I'm control Fing the rule book, I can't find anything listed for tiebreakers or for bucals or for seeding. So I'm a bit pessimistic to see that if they've actually remedied this problem. I don't think they have. I really don't think they have. Oh, and you know what? It's not actually a 32-team bracket. It's a 16 team. It's 16 teams. So if you're a WMU bro, turn off the stream right now. If you're a WMU fan, immediately turn off the stream. Premier League. I think this is Premier League. Season will consist of 8 weeks of switch matchups, 1 best-of-3 being played per week. The number of teams that will advance to playoffs will be 16 teams, so we'll compete in a single elimination bracket. So last season, yep. So wait. This is less than or equal to 64. Yeah, it was less than or equal to 64. Yeah, okay. So 16 teams will make. This is straight wrong though. This is actually funny. They had less than or equal to 64, which is exactly how many teams are in. 64. It says weeks of play 7. So this is like the rule book is just wrong. Unless it is 7 weeks. And this is actually just straight up to last week. My webpage is cooked right now. I can't scroll down. Let me zoom out. I can't even zoom out. It's just FACEIT being slow. No, there even is a round 8 programmed in here. Their rulebook is like, man. Everyone who does collegiate Counter-Strike failed upwards in life. I hate to say it. That is true. Regardless, we are back to actual Counter-Strike. So, IUPUI, starting on the T side. It's really like buying up some utility. Looks like they're thinking the A bomb site, maybe a mid to A even, through the donut position. No players CT side are currently in the mid area, just in this donut position. There are 2 CTs here, a perfect setup to stop this play from the CTs. I see there a lot of pressure being put on him. No kills yet. Ostrich is able to find 1, but instantly traded. And now 2 players now to find for IUPUI on this A-bomb site. It's going very well for the Ravens thus far, and there's pinching coming from every angle of the map. CMX somehow narrowing this down into a 1 versus 1. How has this happened? Greyline is able to hit that left-right pre-fire with a P2K of all weapons, and CU, they edge out that pistol round. First pistol round for them in the series. Big Daddy 8 and CMX, 2 fraggers for IUPUI, able to find 2 each. But the chaos, in all of that chaos, I am shocked that was actually narrowed down to a 1 versus 1. CU really had a fantastic setup to stop that play. IUPUI, only one smoke on the board. I would assume this is maybe an anti-Molotov smoke, just glocks across the board plus a P250. Smoke being thrown, that molly, sorry, that nade just has done a million damage. The Glock has actually found an entry and a dink on MDC. CMX gonna make good on that dink with the P250. Big Daddy A. Decent damage done, all things considered for IUPUI. Only investing $600 total into that round and doing a lot more than $600 monetary damage. But nonetheless, 2-0 is the start for CU. And I think this is the first lead that they've had all series. I believe that the best they had was a 5-5 tied scoreline on overpass. So should be an encouraging start for the Ravens. Hopefully the unfamiliarity with the situation won't damage their chances too much. Molotov for CU got to be thrown, that smoke instantly to extinguish. A definite B focus for CU as they are contesting caves quite hard. Big IDA loses the AK in the process. Meanwhile, Gumbu getting pushed in from ICU there. Just relentless aggression, really. And double up donut. All of the CTs. Warstall taken out by EXT. Straylock pays the price on the trade. Scout from Ostrich. Oh, he's getting pushed. He's seen two players pushing him. He just gets around the corner in time. That's going to be a good delay for his teammates to inch up. MDC with the AK so close. He actually finds CMX through the box. And now EXT, such low ammo, goes down. IUPUI really not even close to this gun round victory. Very different story than what we've seen a lot in this series. IUPUI with the bomb down, it might convince them to go for a buy, but typically the only reason you go for kind of these permanent force buys is if you've damaged the CC economy enough to kind of reason through it. Without the damage done, I mean, Big Daddy A has bought up and Gumbu's bought up. This is a very, very risky buy, especially if IUPUI does not get a bomb down here. This is going to maybe even be like a 5-0 or a 6-0 start for CU. IUPUI looks like Gumbu is going to use his B-spawn to maybe make some kind of play. Other than that, mid-aggression coming in. That smoke landing just in time for the team to spread out. Meanwhile, Warsnaw throwing a flashbang to delay. Still a very B-heavy focus for the CT side. And wow, I see you there. Relentless aggression. Finds Gumboot again. Ostrich trying to re-smoke. That's supposed to be, I think, a one-way for him or something. But Big Daddy A, he is showing the exact same aggression. I see you there showing towards B, but this time in mid-garage. Meanwhile, Warsnob getting pressured from so many different angles at the same time. EXT gets completely destroyed, and Warsnob doubles up on Straylock. What a play. What a play. Bomb down. 2 versus 2. Big Daddy A, he has found 3 kills in the round for his team, but only on 2 HP. He's wondering how the hell did Warsnob just do that? CMX, he might get timings here. Indeed, I see you there, just 1 bullet. What has happened? He needs an ace, does Big Daddy A, and that smoke is not going to make it any easier. Disrespecting it is fruitless, as there's only 2 angles to watch. Currently full AFK, typing to his teammates. So much utility. I mean, Warsnall even has a nade to follow up this Molotov, and Big Daddy A goes for it, and there it is. Oh, Big Daddy A narrowly avoiding death. 16 seconds. Warsnall getting a bit antsy, it looks like. This angle is so hard for Big Daddy A. Free kill. An absolutely amazing showing from Warsnall in that round. I can't believe he's done it. IUPUI economy did not get the bomb down. But they've done enough economic damage that they might just force again. Looks like they're finally gonna bow. They're going to half buy. T side, enough util to throw in a B rush. 3B starting though for the CT side. Here it comes. Fast up the ramp is Gumboot and the rest of his team. Warstall getting calls from his team. Big Daddy A, he finds 2 kills on the entry. Grey Lime is the cave player, but he has lost his bomb site. Straylock bit greedy there, trying to pick up some weapons. Does get caught on Grey Lime's off angle. CMX very quickly dispatched of. EXT can't find the second after finding Warsaw, and 5-0 is the start for CU. The retake comes in despite the man disadvantage. CU Esports still off to a fantastic start in their opponent's map pick. IUPUI, it's the best economy they've seen yet. Will they be able to make good on it is another question. They're doing some decent economic damage these last few rounds, getting 3 and 4 kills. But ultimately, round wins are what's most important. Quick mid start from Ostrich. Actually going to contest this round, and no opposite reaction from IUPUI. There is an AWP posted on the sink. He spotted out the gun barrel. Oh, the flick is just off. The flick is off and Ostrich survives. Meanwhile, this double Jaguar setup from CU, we've seen it before and it has been good, particularly in finding Big Daddy A's lurks. IUPUI fully regrouping towards this B bomb site. We've seen ICU Dare be so aggressive towards ramp. This is such a hard angle to clear without a flashbang. EXT in extreme danger. Smoke coming in. EXT gonna try to find an entry here. MDC trading back. ICU Dare finds EXT. MDC trying to keep the space. Cave ICU Dare misses the second off shot, giving C space. He finds CMX dancing around the pillar. Can't hit the flick shot again. Goes down to Big Daddy A. MDC still in cave though. This bomb plan is gonna be harder than it looks. Big Daddy A does go down through the wallbang, and now Gumboot 4 bullets and an off, 3 kills to find. Can't hit the first shot. 6-0 start for CU, and IUPUI, they're gonna call a timeout. They need to figure out what is going on. I will say, ICU Dare really looks like two different players. Rifle to AWP on both Overpass and now onto Ancient. If you're IUPUI, I think one thing you've been able to get pretty consistently uncontested is mid control. I would not be surprised to see IUPUI sticking to that. Well, they have lost round. I mean, the only reason they lost their one gun round towards A was due to Warsnaw's insane 180 flick onto EXT. That probably required a bit of a whiff from EXT as well. So IUPUI gonna set up. Looks like it is indeed gonna be a mid-tech. Big Daddy A throwing the smoke a bit late. The flashes are fantastic though. He's gonna get out. He's gonna find one. He's gonna find two. And that's very interesting. MGC, usually being the cave player, actually goes towards mid this round and gets punished for it. Big Daddy A, he is on an absolute tear. He is tired of his team losing. He has got 3 kills and he is not stopping for anyone. He is fast into CT. He's gonna collect. I see you there, but not able to ace. Greyline shuts him down at the last moment. And now the T side, they are just chasing into CT spawn. Greyline running for his life. And the CT side economy looks like they're going to be able to find one more buy. But this is a fantastic showing from IUPUI. That wallbang actually just demolishes Straylock. Not going to be able to find CMX though. And IUPUI, they're onto the board. The fast mid play, I mean, Big Daddy A just completely opens up the round for his team. 13-7. Really the only blind spot for his team thus far. Gumboot's still yet to frag after 7 rounds. And that's not for lack of opportunity. We saw both mid and B multiple times getting pushed down from MP9s and from AK-47s. Rough start. This round, mid-util being thrown, but there's no contest from the CT side. As far as the CT side is concerned, there is a full mid-take happening from IUPUI, but instead it's going to be a full B default. That molly is not nearly as deep as it should have been. But no cave contest regardless. I see. Oh, it's actually Grey Lime this time. Usually it's ICU Dare being this aggressive. Gonna actually spot out the open Gumboot. Lucky to be alive, really, is Gumboot. Warsaw completely pushed through A and mid. Gonna find Straylock and get away with his life. This is a really tough spot to be in if you're IUPUI. You're gonna feel boxed in from pretty much every angle. Gumboot hits the shot into Grey Lime. He's onto the board. And that's an important kill to find as well. Now the flanks are starting to come in. How quickly can IUPUI make a decision here? Mid to A could be kind of devious if they call for it. It's going to depend on how fast they call for it. Gumboot seems to have an inkling of a flank being possible, but here comes the decision. The mid-round from IUPUI is so perfect. I see you there. He's going to spot this out. Collects Gumboot on the AWP, but is that going to be enough? Still no rotation from the B side. Now that Warstall is here, he's going to be screaming to his team that they're going A, they're going A. I see you there. His AWP has been so fatal for IUPUI. He's going to swing out. Misses the shot. Over flicks. Meanwhile, Donut completely under control from Big Daddy A. CMX, I think, has accidentally got off the bomb. I see you there. Taken out by Big Daddy A. Fights are still continuing. CMX sticking the bomb. Big Daddy A clearing a million angles. He is going insane. 4 kills, 4 headshots. Clutches the round. He is on 17 kills and 8 rounds and is the only bright spot for this IUPUI Jaguars team on Ancient. What a round from him yet again. That's back-to-back 4Ks. Good God. So clean. His team needs it. Gonna be a mid-rush for CU, and it looks like yet another opportunity for Big Daddy to collect a million kills. Flash is good. He's still able to get 2 onto 19, and the rest should be an easy cleanup for IUPUI. They're going to make a half out of this, if not only for Big Daddy A. 19 and 8. What a performance. And now CU. This is where you actually have some pressure. I mean, up 6-0, an absolutely stacked economy. They must have been feeling fantastic. And then back-to-back, back-breaking 4Ks from Big Daddy A completely destroys the economy for the Ravens. And your advantage is just gone. Every round means so much for your economy now. The pressure is back on to what it felt like on Overpass. Early Caves control being contested. Strelok's Molly yet again. Actually, it spreads. Greyline forced into the corner. Strelok's going to hear that. I'm a bit surprised Strelok isn't jump throwing that lineup. If you jump throw it, it goes deep enough, and the CTs really can't contest Jaguar at all. Oh, wait, I see you there. He's lurking down. He finds 1.5. His lurks have been so good. This time finding EXT instead of Gumboot. 4 versus 4. Pretty stacked towards B. Worse now the only player towards A for his team. Gumboot. AWP trying to make something happen for his team. Smoke into mid-house. Flash. MDC finds a lurking Big Daddy A. So the hard carry for the Jaguars has been shut down. Can IUPUI find anything without him? A question now having to be answered from CMX and Gumboot. Strelok. He'll try to contribute, but with 16 health, it's not going to be easy. Warstall walking into the AWP. Scope and Gumboot. Missing another sitter. A very tough game for him thus far. I mean, that was as easy as it gets for an off shot. And that would have opened the A-bomb site. Instead, now it's on to CMX. Inching out Donut. Warstall going to be taken out. That smoke CT should allot Strelok a bomb plant. Ostrich getting close on the smoke. CMX is actually in Donut. So Strelok really doomed to die here. Now CMX has to win this round. There is no smoke grenade. CMX going to get fancy here. Will find Grey Lime. Bomb is being stuck. CMX hits the headshot, but not enough to transfer onto MDC. So lots of damage done, but no round win for IUPUI. A 3K for CMX. And an almost clutch. But CU on to 7. And IUPUI should be good for a bye. Gumboot definitely going to be dropping Big Daddy A here most likely. I would not be surprised to see Gumboot abandon the AWP for the rest of this half and maybe game. Because it has just not been panning out for him thus far. CT side, because of how many players they've lost, will be forced onto an MP9 and a FAMAS. Utility not good across the board either. So, CMX's 3K definitely felt. Out is Big Daddy A. That nade chunks Gumboot down quite a bit. But no kill found. I see you there. Usually opping towards B is actually in Donut this round. Big Daddy A gonna flash. He's actually missed the flash and almost cost Gumboot his life. Big Daddy A also almost going down. Warsnaw from mid window collects an ostrich from cave. Down to 12 HP, but we'll find the kill. EXT. Putting pressure on so many different sides right now. Warsnaw. Insta killed from Big Daddy A. Despite his low health, he is still fragging. MDC about to walk into the firefight mid. Big Daddy A seems to be ready. MDC walking up, and Big Daddy A finds the kill. Jumping up now. He's trying to get away. Ostrich not fast enough on the peak. And FACEIT. It's just Grey Line from lane. If the T side is fast enough here, that lane smoke is very deep. But it's not going to be challenged. Big Daddy A lurking into slant. He finds the kill. What a game Big Daddy A is having. He is just insta-killing everyone on his screen. EXT has a supportive flashbang if needed, but will Big Daddy A even ask for it? He's been destroying everyone without the util, and the save call has been made from CU. Oh my god. He gets 3 kills with 17 HP, all headshots. 22 and 9 in 11 rounds. And he's losing. What is going on? This is the best performance I've ever seen from a player losing. I'm a little bit worried for Big Daddy A here. Okay, only gonna lose 4 health. Wow. I mean, of these 4-round victories, Big Daddy A 4K, Big Daddy A 4K, and Clutch, Big Daddy A 3K. After being put down to 17 HP and being put in a 3 versus 5. Like, what? How is this performance possible? Mid posturing being thrown, but no commit. Meanwhile, a complete A rush being thrown in with the help of the AWP from I See You There. Gonna back out once his team has cleared it. Mid and Cave's default fully in play for the T side. Will they be ready for how aggressive this A main push is? That is the question. And even if they aren't, how much damage can it really be done? CMX finds MDC on the B bomb side. Big Daddy A getting taken out from the op. Did they even hear this P2K? That AK is going to be put into the hands of Grey Line. That Molly's going to stall any flank. The bomb should go down pretty comfortably. But a very winnable retake, all things considered. Straylock gonna maybe spot what I see here. That smoke being thrown. Straylock not gonna swing into the crosshairs. Warsnaw and Ostrich trying to make some space. Caves not successful. Boost comes in. I see there finds a kill, and that might be all she wrote for this round. Save once again being called from CU. So IUPUI, despite starting out 6-0, will get at least 5 rounds from this T side. And I see there now putting himself at quite a bit of danger. Continuing to take fights. Grey Line actually goes down to bomb with CMX and EXT. Gumboot barely survives as well. 7-5. CT side likely going to buy up a decent buy here. Still not going to have a whole lot of util. Going to be very dependent on I See You There to try to make something happen. With the AWP, he's had a lot of success aggroing towards B. I would not be surprised to see a bit of an aggro ramp posturing from the AWP. Meanwhile, an A rush being called in from the IUPUI side. The only player anywhere close to this bomb side is Warsaw. Full retake likely in play. And here comes the donut smoke. It's going to land, looks like just in time for the T side to scale. Spray through the smoke is not going to be enough to collect a kill yet. Ostrich contesting backhauls. Finds one, but now it's under T side control. Oh, EXT almost gets sprayed as well. I see there no respect on the smoke with the AWP. Barely able to survive. And it is full chaos under this retake. Warsnaw might be able to collect a unsuspecting Gumboot. Straylock on the platform. Able to trade. 2 versus 3. I don't think either of those smokes have gone far enough to get to the bomb. Indeed, they haven't. I see you there strafing, trying to just get a tap on MDC. What? He's actually able to find Straylock, but it's not going to be enough. IUPUI on to 6 round wins. And CU Esports likely onto a save or at least a half buy. IUPUI, I mean, what a recovery. Ever since the timeout, I don't even know if the timeout really changed anything tactically in terms of meaningful outcomes of the round, but that certainly gave Big Daddy A time to meditate, I guess. 22-11. IUPUI not really needing Big Daddy A in that last round. Yeah, going to be a 5-player B stack. Bomb left and spawn for the T side. Might be for the best as very aggressive. Wow, Big Daddy not even close there. Warstoff very quickly taken out. MDC going to be team flash, I believe. Yeah, that was a team flash. CMX makes good on it, finding a quick spray down. MDC. AK versus 3 here. I don't know if he's expecting quite the amount of flankers he's about to be placed against. 6 bullets. Finds one. It looks like he was lagging out there, but regardless, that was a very unlikely clutch. And CU, they... I mean, at this point, it would be unthinkable to say that they are battling for a half win at the end of this half, earlier in this game. But here we are, 7-7. IUPUI poised to win this half. It's a gun round, and CU Esports are sending no one A at all. It's just a full mid-fight. That Molly is not going to be extinguished by that smoke, and the fight is on. CMX goes down. Ostrich strafing into Cubby while reloading. Greyline, meanwhile, fighting into Caves. Big Daddy A trades that back. He's on to 25 kills. Gumboot taking the space given. I see they're missing a crucial off shot on the Gumboot. Big Daddy A taking the space immediately. This is what aggression and confidence gives you. I mean, he is just pushing into smokes at this point. Quick flank into Caves from Ostrich. Big Daddy A is not going to be ready for this. Free kill for Ostrich. 2 versus 2. Last round, have to go for this retake. Gumboot full blind on that flashbang is going to allow Ostrich to sneak out. Gumboot misses the flick, but Ostrich runs out of bullets. Meanwhile, IUPUI hits that shot. Ramp is the last player, and IUPUI's up. Returning to the previous form, is able to find 2 kills and clutch out the round for his team. So CU hemorrhages the half away, but will collect the last round and round it out. IUPUI, they have a lot to be proud of, though, and particularly Big Daddy A. He's on 25 kills. If this game goes to 30 kills, or sorry, 30 rounds, and he gets to 50, I mean, as historical performance to say the least. T side. Ostrich opting into smoke molly. Meanwhile, MDC on smoke flash. Flash. So it looks like a full B execute is planned for the T side, and with only 2 players to contest into Caves, you are going to expect some sort of retake scenario here. In comes the utility. CMX first point of contact, spraying through the smoke. Can't find anyone, but will tag Ostrich down quite a bit. Big Daddy A on the fast flank. Gumboot fighting lane, getting pushed into Caves as well. Chaos really everywhere. MDC going down, but quickly traded. Gumboot struggling, but will find the kill. 4 versus 3. Gooshed up is Straylock, trying to get out of the bomb site. He's the one with the kit, and sticking this bomb almost certainly is going to be a round win for IUPUI. The kit is good, and so is the round for IUPUI. Okay. Props. Ostrich gets 4 headshot kills with the dual bros that round, but does not win. That is a lot of money, and I know that Ostrich did do some T-side opping, I think, for the Carleton side on Overpass, so that will help him get to that milestone quicker. Does buy up armor into this round, and looks like the T-side are going to be very fast taking mid. No players to contest except for Straylock into Donut. Very fast scaling are the T-side into Donut. Spray is good for 3 players. Almost is able to weasel his way into a 4th, but the damage is done, and I see there is going to go down before we can get a bomb plants. Very clean round for IUPUI, led by Straylock spray down, and good to see non-Big Daddy A players contributing some highlights for the IUPUI side. Now they're onto the CT side. Lead taken back for the Jaguars. Instant spawn lineups known by Carleton Esports. We'll see if that is good enough to will them to victory. Once again, no mid-house contingency for the IUPUI side. Strelok opting into an MP9 to hold donut with. Gonna see very aggressive players. That molly will be good enough to prevent any kind of scaling. Flashbang thrown to create some space as well. Meanwhile, Big Daddy goes 1 for 1 in caves. Ostrich, no respect into mid-house right now. No utility used at all. CMX first point of contact. Will he be able to handle this double peek? He handles it perfectly. Double kill for him. Ostrich and Warsaw goes down. CMX knocked down to 13 HP. MDC might be able to fix what his teammates couldn't. Finds that kill. 2 versus 3 now. Quick wrap into CT spawn. Does not go well as EXT closes out the round for the Jaguars. CU having a hard time finding a T-side footing here. Loses the first 3 rounds of the half and forced onto yet another half bye. Big Daddy actually buying up an op here. Not a horrible decision for his position caves. You can kind of get into that very tight choke point. Find 1 kill and fall out. Very hard to trade if you're the member of the T side. Obviously risky if you miss the shot, but I don't think Big Daddy is really worried about that with how well he's playing. Gumbo gonna create some space early for his team. T side looks like they're kind of playing the milk out utility game. Let the CTs waste their money as best we can before committing. Big Daddy A with the AWP, flick shot headshots onto Grey Lime. Getting pressured even more so, but that molly will prevent any quick scaling. And Gumboot is quick into caves to prevent any further. Now, Strelok, going to hear a lot of players running in. That Molotov will, at the very least, separate the players, but MDC separates Strelok from the server. EXT, now the man to beat for CU. Gets the first kill, falls off. I see you there with the Deagle. Needs it, but can't get it. And now it's all onto MDC. 1 versus 4, can't find it. CMX to finish out the round with a double kill himself. But IUPUI, they are cruising on the CT side right now. Absolutely cruising. The closest round of alive players at the time of bomb defuse, I think, has been 4. I think the pistol rounds, the 3 kills were found afterwards once the bomb was already defused. So the closest CU esports have gotten have been 3 alive for the IUPUI side. This might be one of their last chances to turn it around. Quick mid-side default for CU. Insta-smoke actually misses this round. Strelok catching on to the quick defaults of CU will spend a molly. Meanwhile, EXT actually gets caught out on an aggressive A-push. Quick flank from CMX. We'll find 1 traded back by Strelok. 2 versus 3 favoring IUPUI. Big Daddy A, no respect, running through the smoke. MDC sticking this bomb plant and goes down for it. So now Grey Lime absolutely needs this clutch for his team. Getting pushed. Oh, nice shot onto Gumboot, but only 5 HP now after Big Daddy A has legged him through the wall. And these jump peaks are too much. IUPUI onto 12 rounds the same time. Big Daddy A onto 30 kills. Still putting up amazing numbers for his team as the CT half progresses. It really feels like every round, at the very least, Big Daddy has been good for 1. I'm surprised by the decision to stick there on MDC's point of view, but I guess you really don't expect an offer to be flying through the CT smoke very often. 12 rounds. Only 4 rounds separate IUPUI from a 5-2 record in Collegiate. With the discovery that only 16 teams make playoffs, I don't know if 5-3 is safe, especially with a bad Bukul seeding. But 6-2 absolutely would be. These teams playing for their playoff lives, really. Coming down to the wire at the end of this season. Quick mid-scale from the T side, but it is spotted out by Gumboot. He does quite a bit of damage onto Ostrich and Warsaw. I think that... Yeah, that smoke is just atrocious. Not where they wanted it at all. CMX into Jaguar. This is not the easiest fight to win for really either side. CMX dinked for 5 damage. What? Only 5 damage taken. CMX is traded. Meanwhile, Worsnoff finds a lurk kill. Big Daddy A, he's been so good for his team thus far, but being pressured from so many different angles. No scopes Ostrich. Wow. Gives his team at least a chance here. But Worsnoff behind a smoke finds one. Straylock with the AWP. Does no scope work? The no scopes are coming in for IUPUI right now. 5 bullets in that AK. Straylock not even bothered to reload. He knows the time is not on his side. Not enough. I think that was 3 abdomen shots. MDC goes down to 8 HP. But CU onto the board. Their first T-side rounds. IUPUI still have a decent economy. Should be able to buy up guns for all 5. Big Daddy A quickly back onto the AWP. And I wouldn't be surprised to see IUPUI mix up how they're covering mid, because it really does feel like CU is showing no respect right now. And indeed, CMX is going to take his talents to the mid area. Molly and nade will prevent any quick scaling, and I think this might be the first time we've seen IUPUI throw that. Meanwhile, EXT entry fragged yet again by the AWP on A, and they are taking that space fast, or Carleton University. CMX, oh, he's actually lurked his way out of tunnels, but he's not ready for that close player. Trade comes in from Straylock, but he's being absolutely held. Backs out of it. Bomb now headed towards B. Gumboot is the one blown player towards this B bomb site. But can he really expect 3 players converging so quickly onto a bomb site that he was expecting to be abandoned? MBC working out of the bomb site with the bomb. He actually drops it. And that's going to cause a full-fledged rotation from the CTs. There are no lurks to really cut off this CT rotations either. It's going to be a full retake. 3 versus 3. This bomb site is not the easiest to hold in the post plant. Worsnoff, key fight here on the Straylock. He wins it. Gumboot, Big Daddy A. 2 versus 3. And the AWP as a part of this retake. 1 smoke on Gumboot. That could be important. Smoking cave on these retakes is super good. Ostrich not giving the peek. Gumboot, he's got to be tempted to throw a smoke here. Not going to do it. Big Daddy A, a no-scope headshot onto Warsaw. 2 kills on the retake. He's on to 33 kills. What a legendary performance from Big Daddy A in this map, too. 13-9. The bomb plant will be good enough to give CU Esports a good economy moving forward. But 13 rounds, that is dangerously close to a series win for IUPUI. Big Daddy A, he is just not missing right now. Not even no scopes. What a game from him. We'll see if IUPUI keeps the mid pressure that they had last round. Looks like CMX is indeed running towards that. A lot of mid presence being shown from the T side here. They're going to disrespect this Molly and nade. Nade does decent damage. Straylock going to throw a smoke to prevent any fast scaling. I think EXT has learned his lesson with regards to playing the site. Straylock punishing that disrespect. I'm surprised by the decision to go through Donut that fast. What info did they have to make them think that that was a good idea? I'm shocked. And the round has just been completely blown up. I see you there. Typically the A main entry wasn't going to be given it anyway this round, but now has a lot more to do with this AWP. All 3 players for the T side, grouped up elbow. I think I see there's lining up a... Oh, he doesn't have a smoke. Might have been the issue. CMX looking for some information. Mid-house smoke being thrown. That should give decent space. CMX actually punished for the peek. Sherlock spotted out. Going to be throwing a flashbang. This is a great flashbang to peek with. He's full blind. It's great line, but his teammate saves his life. MTC. Quick flank from Big Daddy A with the up. He gets 2 kills. Trying to no-scope the third, but the 5-7 is whipped out. He gets a 3K. 36 and 16 plus 20. 152 ADR. 2 4Ks. 4 3Ks. I mean, what can you say? An absolutely insane performance from Big Daddy A. Just no respect going through mid-house to flank the Valorant players. And it looks like A main is the call. 9-14 with it all on the line. And A rush being called in. I see you there. First entry. EXT being tasked with the defense. That Molly and defensive smoke will make it very difficult for these T-side players to scale into good post-plant positions. Sight seemingly given. That's a great Molotov to force the players out of default. EXT up on this one way. What can he get done? So many players so close. CMX through the smoke finds the bomb planter. And now Gunboot on a lurk finds one as well. Straylight goes down Donut, but EXT multi-frags from default, and now it's all on to Osher's 1 versus 4. 15, just 1 kill away for IUPUI. EXT searching for it. Ostrich, the grenade pullout will be his last mistake, and Big Daddy A on to 37, just a 3K away from 40. And none of the CU players even scratching $4,000 on an economy. This is almost certainly curtains for the Ravens. A 6-0 start, and now only 3 rounds since. Big Daddy A absolutely just bringing death and destruction on this server. I just can't believe the scenes we're seeing. B is the switch up for CU. Mid and A are not working. Big Daddy A with the AWP in caves. Challenged once again. Can he make 40 before this game ends? There is no flashbang that's going to force this off this angle. Grouped up around B ramp are the T's. 2 players here to stop. Gumboot going to spot all 4. Now Big Daddy A swinging in to help. The 5-7 has been whipped out. He is fragging with it. Swinging out again. Gets a double. No scopes for 40. Can't find the 41st. But it should be good enough. I see you there. Finds a second quickly, making this at the very least a discussion. EXT spraying, a lot of pressure. I see you there, not checking caves, and that'll be his last mistake. Big Daddy A triple kills with a 5-7 and an AWP. Poetically no scopes for his 40th kill. And IUPUI collects the 2-0, move to 5-2 on the season, and move CU down to a very rough position, 4-3. Need to, at the very least, win their last series to even have a discussion of top 16. What a performance from Big Daddy A. Just one last time. 40-17, 155 ADR. And what's most impressive out of all of it, 4 enemies flashed. This is completely insane for Big Daddy A. Usually we're looking at like -3 enemies flashed. What a performance. We'll do a quick standings check for the FACEIT Collegiate season. With that win, IUPUI moves themselves onto a 5-2 record, taking the 7th seed. Only MSU and ASU can really contest that at this point. And I think these are already decided. Yeah, 63 book holes and IUPUI on the 81 book holes. IUPUI's book holes is artificially better than it should be right now because of Davenport. They'll have one more loss by season's end. But moving to 6-2 from this point will likely cement IUPUI as at the very least maybe a top 5 seed if they can close out the season. But regardless, that win might be good enough to guarantee a playoff berth. What a performance. At best, only one team can end the season undefeated. That's going to be Drexel CS, and honestly, they likely will. Other contesters to be in that one-loss group will be Purdue and Northwood. ASU likely doomed to face Drexel and MSU. I don't know if MSU can close out the season undefeated, but we'll see. Regardless, that was the 7th game. Next week will be the last game, and will likely decide a lot of playoff outcomes and playoff seeding for the IUPUI side. Yeah, Drexel just 16-3 to ASU on Mirage. This is do not show an IUPUI player this game. They will not be happy that they lost to this team. But regardless, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week with the last regular season game.